Justin Lee is on the job hunt, and finding full-time work isn't getting any easier.
It's harder to get jobs because the requirements and what employers ask you for has gone up.
But just ahead of running off for a job interview, Lee says it all comes down to attitude.
What you gotta do is just make yourself marketable and know how to sell yourself.
But new job numbers show that sell is getting harder. The country shed more than 70,000 full-time jobs in July, the most dramatic one-month drop in nearly 5 years, and far from the modest gain expected by economists. The decline was slightly offset by the creation of less desirable part-time positions, bringing the net job loss to just over 30,000. The unemployment rate edged up to 6.9%. British Columbia bucked the trend. It added some 12,000 positions, leading the country in job growth. The biggest losses were in Ontario, with the province posting its first big decline in nearly a year. In Alberta, still reeling from the crash in oil prices, the unemployment rate jumped to 8.6%, the highest level since 1994.
The number one factor over the past year has been the weakness in Alberta. That's nothing new. It continues to be simply a story of the fallout from the weakness in the energy sector.
And in large part because of that weakness, this analyst says Canada's economy is essentially stuck.
What we're seeing is a very slow underlying growth rate in the economy, and in that environment it's really tough to bring down the unemployment rate.
The U.S., meanwhile, posted better than expected job numbers. Its economy is improving. That growth is proving elusive for Canada, disappointing not only in jobs, but trade as well. Along with the jobs report, new figures released on Canada's trade deficit showed that in June, it reached a record high level. So one day, two very disappointing reports, and they became a 1-2 punch for the Loonie, which closed sharply lower today. Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Toronto.